Well, here's why I've got y'all watching me pull the dump truck up. I just broke a front spring. That was horrendous. That was just almost a crash because I had a big load of topsoil on there. You can see how that axle's back. I'm fixing to tear it down and work on it. Not something I want to do. Now, them rubber scotches ain't got the weight of the whole truck on them. I've got a jack stand under there, under the frame. I need a 4x4. Let's see if I can work. These are hard to get to. These front pinch bolts on the spring hanger, you can't get an impact on them unless you take the front bumper off, and I'm not in the mood to, sure not in the mood to pull the front bumper. May wind up doing it later, but I'm gonna try not to. I just hope I get this spring replaced and everything without getting hurt so I can go back to work. Really lucky I didn't wreck this truck when the spring broke. That was a bad deal. Bad deal. These Ford L9000s are truly a heavy duty piece of equipment, because anything else would have been ruined. It would have totaled out anything else. These old L9000 Fords are right up there with a Mack truck, maybe stronger. This is a pretty big truck, and it's got a 855 small cam Cummins, but it's a 240 power torque. It's not even 300 horsepower, but it's got a 8-speed double low transmission and SQ100 rear ends, and this thing is just really tough. I've never had these pinch bolts out of this front end before. I have put another front end under this truck. This is not the factory front end. So I've actually had the U-bolts off before. So the nuts ought to come off the U-bolts pretty easy, because I actually had new U-bolts made last time. That's probably been 14 years ago. I've got a chisel out here already. I think I can drive a couple of chisels in there. And get that pin out of that front spring hanger pretty easy. Here she comes. Hope the other one comes off that easy. Wire brushing really pays off. They turn by hand. Them U-bolts are reusable. If they were from 1985, I wouldn't reuse them. But they're not that old. I'm going to lay these out in such a fashion that I can put them back just like they were. And they're not going to come out that easy. We'll hang them over the frame in the orientation they were in. That needs to be orientated in the way that it was in too. Put it right there. Getting them out of here. I'll have this spring out in a few minutes. I'm ready to ease the jack down away from the spring a little bit. Well, that's not going to work. That jack's as low as it'll go. I'm going to have to put a little floor jack under it and get it up where I can work with it. I know a baby floor jack ain't much on this, but I'm not lifting the whole truck. I'm only lifting the axle. This way I don't have to be under there with it when I let it down a little bit. That's enough. Alright, I got to get that pin out of the end of that spring. I'm going to take these chisels out of the front mount. And I'm going to reuse them back here. Look at that. This spring is almost out. You just don't know it. Okay. Lay that somewhere. Get these out of the way. Now, keep from tearing up anything. I'm going to have to do something to get this spring down. And it's heavy. But it's propped up. See, there's a predicament I'm in. I'm going to get this spring out of here off camera. There's no need in y'all watching a fat country boy wrestle a spring out. What do you think? We'll do it anyway. I'm going to raise the hood, because if I raise the hood I can get in there. I really should have had the hood up this whole time. I've done this before, not on this truck, but I've done it before. Don't want to lose the orientation of this block. Okay. Come on off of there, block. Come on. Here comes the cat. block was just like that. Well, there's what shut me down for the day. Now I've got to go pull one out of a parts truck that I've got up on the hill. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to film that. The axle is not in the parts truck because this is the axle from the parts truck. Right there's the truck I'm going to get my replacement spring off of. Or try to. It's kind of going to be kind of dangerous jacking it up. I may abandon the idea. I'd get a new spring for about $400, but I have to wait about 10 days on it, and I really don't want to wait. So I'm going to put y'all on the magnet here. I'm sure this will get time-lapsed later. I'm going to see if I can jack this thing up. This is going to be somewhat dangerous to jack up. I'm just going to have to do the best I can. Well, it can't fall very far because I got something under the engine cradle. Got to get a lot more than that under there. This thing to do with something like that is jack it up and look at it, see if it's moving. I'd get that up another inch. I get a 2x4 on top of that block I got under there. And then I think I'd pull all this out and let it down and have room to get the spring out. Shifting. I don't like that. You gotta listen for stuff. Pays to listen when you're jacking something up. I'm gonna see if that is enough. That's not enough to get my spring out. This spring's gonna have a lot of arch to it. More than I thought. Still can't get the spring out. I'm gonna do some measuring. I need to know how much of an arch that spring has to it. Help me determine if I can really use it. I gotta look up a part number for a minute. They may not be the spring I want. I hope it is though. Hope I can use it because I don't want to wait on another spring to come in. Okay, I believe I found it. It's not the spring I expected. It's a 43,388 instead of a 43,432 part number. But it worked. It won't by any means be ideal, but it'll get my truck going where I can make this money I need to make, and I might put 2 new leaves under it later. See if I can get the lock bolts out of it. I think I may be already seeing that I left tools behind. I don't think I have my 9/16 wrench with me. Well, I got 2 of them with a crescent somehow. Hey, there's a 9/16 on a ratchet. I might get this other one. I've only got one more. If I can get on it with a crescent and hold it, I get this job done without going back to get any tools. What did I do with the crescent? Y'all see the crescent laying here? It's probably here somewhere. There it is. Well, I got no choice. I'm going to have to go get a 9/16. All right, I've got a couple more things I needed. See if I can get this last bolt out. I got it. I always save all my bolts and nuts. Anytime I do a project, I try to. Now all I got to do is get the rest of the pressure off that spring and get them lock pins out of there. Can't get to it. I think I can get it out of there anyway. I'll put these vice grips on it, hook a chain on here and yank it out. It didn't come out. Still got some pressure on it. Need to get that jack out. That's one. Now what I do with the other chisel. There it is. Them things are going to be harder to get to. It's alright, they're going to come out. They're going to come out anyway. Folks, that spring's ready to fall out of there. By myself in just a few minutes. It's amazing what you do when you work hard. I'm having to dump stuff out of the skid steer bucket. Get stuff out of here. So I got room to put that spring in here. Special wrench. It's got my daddy's name on it, C.W. Smith. Let's see. Come on out of there, spring. Yes, sir. Come on out. There's a truck spring. Now I'm going to need to block up under this truck better. But I don't think I'm going to do it right now. You know what? That's good enough. Now I'm going to go to the house and put this thing back together. Always bring water with you. That's necessary. Water. I'm going to come back and get the shock mounts off this truck because I decided I'm going to put shocks on my truck. Sorry for the jerky camera movement. I'm still loading stuff. That old dump truck has been de-sprung. And I got it supported under the engine cradle right there. It was easier to jack this thing up than what I thought it was going to be. I'll probably have to come back up here and get the rest of my blocks and stuff. But fix and take the old skid steer and go back down to my house and get my dump truck back together. Well, that's as close as I can get it with all the junk I've got in the way. There she is. Now I just got to get her in the place of that one. Well, here's what we come up with. We had to put some 1/4 inch ratchet binders on there with chains to support that. And we're going to let it down, let the axle down with a floor jack and get everything positioned. Well, we got it back under there. Now that ain't a new spring, I just painted it up. We had to hook a chain around the spring right here and around the bottom part of the axle over there and pull this away that way because this was way out here. That axle was way out of line from what happened. But it wasn't real bad. We did it in about an hour. I just hand tightened the U-bolts. I prefer to do that by hand. Just adjusted the brakes. I'm fixing to put and ICs on the lug nuts, lug bolts. Put the wheel on and get this thing off the jack stands. Well, for a truck that had a broke spring a couple of good days ago, it's doing pretty good. Look at there. Big old load of topsoil. I need a new liner in my bed. Anyway, put me a couple new tires on here and a spring. She's doing fine. This is the third load since I broke a spring. I'm going to get another load, y'all. Have a good one.